You are now listening to the Q&E Podcast.
Is this what you want? Huh? Is this what you want? Well, come and get it, goddammit!
What's up, everybody? You're listening to the Q&E Podcast. You are here with your boy Q Hicks right now. I got Eggett on the other line. Eggett, tell the people what's good.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Q&E Podcast. Today, we are reviewing Last Chance U basketball. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure you watch it. If you haven't seen any of the other Last Chance U documentary parts, make sure you watch those as well. This was a big one for us. We're such basketball fans, football fans too, but this basketball one was definitely needed because that JUCO journey, it hits the same for all sports. You just don't pay attention to all of them because the football one just takes over so much of the enjoyment, you know. But I'm glad they did this. I'm glad we get a chance to review it. This season was definitely worth watching.
Yeah. And something I always loved about Last Chance U is just how they dive into like the frustration in the background of certain characters of certain seasons. With this one, we had Deshaun Highler, we had Joe Hampton, who was a crazy ass motherfucker. Shout out to Joe Hampton. You had Coach Mosley, KJ Allen, Malik Muhammad, and all of them had interesting backstories to how they got to East LA Community College. Man, I just love how they just dive into it and just build them up throughout the series. That's something I always loved about Last Chance U, man. But what was your first reaction to it?
My first reaction, I was excited. From the moment I seen the trailer, I was like, ooh, like this shit finna be, boy. Because I was so excited because I seen a lot of people like not really happy about the shit. I seen a lot of people like, man, we want another football one. Like, bro, why is it this basketball shit? I'm like, y'all really finna disrespect these hoopers out here? Like, the same way y'all be saying how it's people out here that can really play for real with football, it's just like that with basketball. How many niggas y'all see on a daily that play at the Y that like y'all really be like, hey, like he low-key can play for real? Like if he went to college or some shit, it's just like that. Like so many what if stories with football from people who left high school, who were great in high school that didn't get to have their full opportunity. It's just like that with basketball. And I think we were given so much with the football Last Chance U that now that they decided to finally do basketball, you got so many people like, why they going this route? This shit might not even be that good. So I was excited because they was getting so much hate. I'm like, this shit finna really turn y'all whole perspective around.
And that shit, hockey got tired with the football shit. It's like you seen that shit with 4 seasons. It was just like, okay. I think Independence College was the last one for football. Mm-hmm. And I think the coach had just ended up getting fired. I forgot what dude's name was. White dude, big white dude.
I don't even remember their names like that. I know who you're talking about though. I ain't seen the football one in so long.
It's been a minute, bro. But I was honestly tired of the football, so I was glad they were going to basketball as well. Something different, and just to show you, it's just as many, if not more, people that have those same what if stories when it comes to basketball. Like it's only 12 to 15 people on a roster, bro, when it comes to basketball. When it comes to football, bro, especially JUCO teams, it'd be like 70 niggas on a JUCO team, like each JUCO team. So it's like way more opportunities when it comes to football. Basketball, bro, that shit is really slim pickings, my nigga. Ain't too many people, even in JUCO, playing at a high level, bro. So I just love that they shined a light on this series and on basketball JUCO. I got a couple of boys playing JUCO basketball. They always telling me how much of a grind it is. It don't matter if you're playing basketball or soccer. If you in JUCO, period, that grind gonna be crazy because everybody trying to get that one scholarship at that Division I, that Division II, that Division III. Everybody trying to get get to that next step, man. So it's a challenge wherever you go. And I love that they moved it on to basketball. It was really exciting. And the synopsis for this Last Chance U basketball is: in East Los Angeles, a basketball coach with strong convictions leads young men who hope to fulfill major college potential. So that's how it is. And that's when we just dive into Coach Mosley. And no, the Last Chance U football wasn't with the big white dude, bro. It was with the Hispanic dude. Hispanic dude was the Last Chance U because they were in Oakland.
Oh, you're right.
They were in Oakland.
Right.
I just remembering the last football when they were in Oakland.
The big white coach, he was more memorable to me. That's probably why I think he was the last one.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Oakland one was definitely the last one. That just popped into my head. Yeah, but then it's funny because they moved from Kansas. I think the first couple of Last Chance U's were in Kansas, but now they're starting to move out to California.
Mhm.
Last Chance U was in Oakland, and this one is in East LA. So I guess they get to pick and choose wherever they want to go. But yeah, we dive into Coach Mosley. What were your first impressions of Coach Mosley when we first met him, and how did you feel about him going throughout this season?
I love the fact that he was just so deep in his faith, like from the moment that you seen him, like the moment he was introduced in the documentary, like he was intense. I knew he was going to be an intense coach just from the first episode, but as the season went on, like you seen how like much he really cares about this team. And you don't see too many coaches like that, period, especially when the whole coaching staff cares as strongly as they do. But Coach Mosley, him like really pressing his care and love and faith on the team, you don't see that too many times. Like, shout out to Coach Moore at Lakewood. Like, you don't see too many coaches that like really press how much they care and press their faith onto young men like that. So I was excited to see that from the get-go. It was like that since episode 1.
I was kind of iffy on that because that's a two-way street, because some people can gravitate towards that and some people can try to move away from that because you're so deep into the faith and they don't have the same beliefs as you. So a lot of people can like I think a lot of people will gravitate toward it because they're on this journey, so they want to believe and have faith that they will get to that next level. But that's a real iffy thing, especially when you put beliefs into it, because I think Mark Jackson had that same type of belief system. He always threw God into it with the Golden State when he was coaching for Golden State. And that's one of the reasons they say that they fired him, because he always tried to force his faith onto somebody else. And it made people in the locker room some people feel uncomfortable when they don't have the same beliefs as you. So that can really be a two-way street. I'm glad that it worked for them. Like, they got far. No, it was like, I don't think it was really any big injuries throughout the season. So everything was smooth for him, but that's really a two-way street when it comes with the faith. But I fuck with Coach Mosley though. And he really pressed on the issue of how much these coaches sacrifice for these players, bro. That's one of the most memorable scenes that I got from this season, was just that sacrifice scene when he was talking to everybody. They were all in the weight room or something like that. And he was like, man, do y'all understand that I'm here coaching y'all and I'm out here after the games with y'all in the weight room when I'm missing my son's game, his basketball game. I'm missing my daughter's softball game. I'm not spending as much time with my wife as I should be because I'm out here trying to see y'all get to the next level. Like, a lot of people take that shit for granted. Like, these coaches just supposed to be doing this. They ain't got nothing else better to do. Where he's missing out on memorable times in his kid's life to get y'all to where y'all want to be. And it's like a lot of people take that shit for granted, and even these players. But it's just like, man, like, y'all really got to understand what I'm doing for y'all, bro. Y'all really act like I don't care and I'm crazy, but I'm trying to get y'all there.
And it's the fact that even in certain scenes in the documentary, when you see him at home, like, he's zoned into his laptop on his iPad and all that. His daughter like, Dad, look. And he like, and like, he just looking at film, he's studying, he doing what he got to do. So even when he is around them, when it's season time, like, he full grind mode. And I love the fact that his wife is just so understanding and is able to get the kids to understand that too. Because it could be a situation where your wife aggravated as hell with you that you ain't putting your all into your family like you is with the team, but she's a basketball head too. So that's a big plus on their marriage and on their relationship, because it's like she understands. So she understands from a wife perspective and from a basketball perspective on what he got to do. So I love that. And also, he was letting them know, like, look, I could be one of them coaches like, oh, y'all got attitudes? Well, shit, all right, team on 3, practice over. I'm going home since y'all don't care. But no, I don't care if y'all don't care. I care, because I know ain't nobody else out there in the world gonna care. These administrators, y'all don't see these administrators. Them niggas
had them shits. They had like, no facilities or nothing crazy, bro. Them administrators did not give a fuck.
They don't be coming in y'all practice. Like, the only person like they was really talking to school board wise was like their academic advisor, helping them with their grades. So other than her, like, there was nobody else really. And I'm like, bro, y'all got to understand that. Like, these motherfuckers don't care if y'all come to school. They don't care if y'all actually go D1 or go pro. Like, y'all need to trust these coaches that's sacrificing for y'all.
And he also hit on the point of him actually having another job instead of just coaching. I don't know if that was spoken on before with the other coaches with football. I don't know if they had other jobs or something like that, but I feel like they were all just like the sport. They were like just coaching and coaching and coaching. But he had a separate job at the school other than coaching. So he getting up in the morning, doing the spin classes or whatever, just to support his team and just to be a part and to be the coach of his team. Like, that's crazy. Like, the money that he's getting from coaching isn't enough to support his family, that he has to have a separate job. Like this, it just tells you how much or how much love they don't get, how much love the coaches and especially the assistant coaches. I'm pretty sure them niggas weren't getting anything either. The bald head dude, light skin, and Coach Ken, they probably ain't getting paid nothing either.
Coach Rob.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they won't get paid nothing either, but they want to see y'all get to the next level. So they sacrificing pay, sacrificing time with their family, sacrificing time away from their kids, and it's just like, just to see y'all get to the next level. And that shit is so big, bro. So big. I don't think they really hit on that in previous seasons, but that's something they really felt like they hit on this season. And it really hit home with me. But who are some other favorite people in this Last Chance U season to you?
I feel like, honestly, everybody's favorite characters are, I'm sure, Deshaun and Joe. But a favorite character of mine, what was like another favorite? Coach Ken, definitely. Coach Ken was definitely a favorite character of mine. And Deshaun's girlfriend, I really liked her character just because his story and how you're still young as hell. You don't have either one of your parents in your life no more. And she really played a huge role. Like he said, like, I didn't know how to pay bills. I didn't know how to cook for real. I didn't know how to do this, blah, blah, blah. So when I didn't have either of my parents, she was there through everything. So I appreciated her character. She wasn't really shown too much. She was really only shown some of the time when he was having his own separate moments. But I appreciated her character a lot because it shows that like you don't always need your parents. Because what if you're in a situation you ain't got your parents? Just having that extra person in life is helpful. So I appreciated her character. And Coach Ken, everybody needed Coach Ken, dog, for real. Like he one of them coaches that's like, he's the coach that the players can come to when the head coach they feel be on bullshit. I feel like everybody who's played sports has had that assistant coach that they run to. Like, hey, coach, like, can you tell coach, like, he tripping, blah, blah, blah. Why am I not this? Or what is this going on with this? We've all have had.
He gonna keep it real with them too, though. He gonna keep it real with you too. It's not, he ain't just gonna tell you what you want to hear. He gonna keep it real. Like, hey, this is what you ain't playing. This is what the head coach seeing on the court. You not doing it. You're not showing effort. So that's something I really loved about Coach Ken. He just ain't gonna just hear you talk about the bullshit. He gonna let you know, and he gonna keep it real with you too at the same time.
And he's gonna talk to you. He's not gonna talk at you. He's going to talk to you. He's gonna be like, let me hear what you gotta say. Like, and he, like you said, he gonna keep it real with you, but he gonna give you that opportunity to speak. As to what with Coach Mosley, it's like, no, you just finna listen. I'm finna tell you what's up, blah, blah, blah. Like, because you're the player, I'm the coach. Like, but you need a coach like that too, though. You need a head coach that keeps shit in order. So I understand both.
Yeah. And he was one of the main people who was keeping. I mean, Joe was all over the place. Them niggas are blowing by 50 points, and this nigga Joe in the locker room throwing shit around. I seen a meme about that shit. That shit had me cry, bro.
Crazy.
But that nigga Joe was definitely my favorite character but favorite person of this TV show, because you can understand why he's so frustrated with his situation. Because, man, this dude was a 5-star prospect. He had the road to the league paid for him, had the D1 offer already. So he already been through this before. And the fact of he got a knee injury. Now he just keep going back. Now he has anxiety issues. Now he's smoking weed. Now he going to jail. So you just see that downward spiral. Now he's back to square one, trying to get back to the D1 shit. And Coach Mosley trying to help him. Like, that shit was so powerful to me, bro. When Coach Mosley said he wrote the judge a letter to get Joe out of jail. Like, that shit is huge. Like, Joe can do all that screaming he wants to, all that complaining to Coach Mosley, but you would not even be outside of the prison cell if it wasn't for this man, bro. So that shit was so crazy to me. Even though Joe was doing all that yelling, I think he understands like how much of an impact Coach Mosley was to his life, bro. Because that shit's powerful, bro.
And I totally agree, because if you notice in the documentary, as much as Joe was yelling, as much as he went to the locker room and was just throwing shit and all of that, not once did he, I mean, it's disrespectful to talk back to coach and all that, but not once did he ever call Coach Mosley out his name. Not once did he do the most like in his face or anything like that. He just said fucking and left the court, because I feel he still respected Coach Mosley enough to where it's like, okay, I ain't finna just cuss you out. I may be cussing while I'm talking, but I'm not going to cuss at you, and I'm not going to do shit in your face. I'll go to the locker room and have my episode. So I feel like he respects Coach Mosley enough to know, hey, like this my coach at the end of the day. I may not fuck with half of the way he coached sometimes, but I still respect him, and he know how to get the job done. It's just, like you said, Joe, he's just a hothead in a lot of situations, and he's still battling that.
And I feel like all of these players have the same type of situation, especially when it's your second year in junior college. It's just like, you want to get the D1, you probably ain't getting the offers that you want to get. So it's like the pressure is building up, especially by the end of the season. Just like now you grow more frustrated with the coach because you ain't getting the playing time. You feel like you ain't getting as much attention. So I feel like Coach Mosley understands that it's the pressure of everything that these kids are going through, and the anxiety of that is why they're feeling so frustrated right now. That's why they're yelling at me. That's why they're lashing out, because they want to get to the place that they want to go, but it's not happening when they want it to happen. So I think Coach Mosley understands that. He's been in JUCO since when it was like 2012. I think that's when he got in. Mm-hmm. So he understands the mentality of a player's of a player and things like that, especially in JUCO, man. Especially when you don't get the offers. Especially like what's my boy name? Damn, I'm blanking on dude. He was the point guard, left-handed dude, number 1.
LJ. Oh, you said number 1?
Yeah,
LJ was number 1?
LJ was number 1.
I thought LJ was number 8.
LJ was number 1.
Oh, okay.
LJ was number 1. And I remember when somebody had showed up to LJ's game and he didn't play up to his standards when somebody had came to see him. And it's just like, bro, what? And it's something I wanted to talk about as well. How are you going to perform when you think nobody is watching? How are you going to perform? Because the same way you perform when nobody is watching is the same way you're going to perform when somebody is watching. So the fact that when LJ didn't think nobody was there to watch him, he was out there cooling on the court. But when coach had told him somebody was here to see you, he turned it up. It's just like, why don't you play like this all of the time? And people get mad at Coach Mosley because it's just like, no, you the reason why I ain't getting the offers. You the reason I ain't getting the playing time. It's just like, y'all need to start looking in the mirror at yourselves. That same situation with LJ, when he wasn't playing up to his standards, that's the same thing that happens to all of y'all, bro. These coaches be here to see y'all, but y'all don't always play up to y'all standards the whole time, bro. And Coach Mosley is trying to get that out of y'all. And y'all don't think it is Coach Mosley fault y'all don't got the O's, when y'all got to look in the mirror, bro, and say, it's my fault. I ain't getting the O's. I ain't playing up to my standards every night. And it's just that situation really highlighted what it really is to be JUCO, bro. Y'all always blame the coach, but they never look in the mirror, bro. And that shit was so huge to me, bro. So huge.
It was in the same speech that we was just talking about a few minutes ago on what he sacrifices. And he said that in that same speech. He said, y'all mad at me for asking for extra. I'm giving y'all everything I got. Like my wife calling me, I'm like, nah, babe, I got to get this dude a scholarship. Nah, babe, I got to do weights right now. And y'all don't even play 100% in the game. Like, forget practice at this point. Y'all don't even put 100% in the game. Like, until I tell you that, oh, he in the stands watching right now. Oh, now you want to play for real. Now you want to talk, and when you're doing pick and rolls and shit. Now you want to rebound. Now you want to do this, So it's like he said, I could say, fuck it. That's how y'all want to be. Boom. Practice over. Game over. No, I'm finna be on y'all ass until y'all treat the game how y'all say y'all love it. Y'all say y'all love the game, right? Like, y'all all love Kobe. What was Kobe's main thing? When nobody was watching, he was still giving it 110%. And a lot of y'all don't do that. And he was just letting them know, you got to look in the mirror, like you just said, like take accountability. Because he told them, if we all on the same page and we all playing at our best, nobody can beat us.
They had so much talent on that team, dog. When you talk about KJ Allen, bro, that was somebody I was looking at the whole season. I was just like, he's not supposed to be there. He's not supposed to be there, bro. He's not supposed to be there, bro. That's one person you can see the whole season was not supposed to be there.
The people that ain't supposed to be there, Joe, KJ, and Deshaun off rip. Them the top 3 people that's not supposed to be there. Only reason I can say Malik could still be there is because
Malik was supposed to be there.
Malik supposed to be there, but I can see potential as to why he not supposed to be. Height-wise and basic skill-wise, you could be like, nah, he ain't supposed to be here because you see the potential. But potential plus talent, KJ, Deshaun, and Joe. Them the three people that's just not supposed to be there.
Oh, yeah. Joe was a pro, bro. That's why I kept understanding what Joe was going through, even though he was doing all that last. And I was just like, this dude was supposed to be in the NBA. And he's always going to think about that. And I felt like he just had to get that monkey off of his back. And I'm glad he ended up at the school he wanted to go to. I think he ended up going to Long Beach State. I think he said that's the school he wanted to go to. So I'm glad he ended up getting back D1 because you can just tell he was so stuck in the past. Like, man, I'm supposed to be here right now. But it's like, bro, you're not there. Like, you're here right now. You got to start from square one. So are you going to put in the work to get back to where you were at? It's like, okay, it's like, let's move on, let's recover, and let's get back to that point. And talent-wise, he was always talented. But it's like work ethic. Are you going to show up? Like the hothead shit. It's like, man, that's really going to hold you back because a lot of people are not going to put up with that shit at the next level. Coach Mosley told him that shit too. Like, bro, I'm putting up with your shit because I'm trying to get you there. And I love you. It's like these niggas at the D1 level, bro, this shit is a business, my nigga. Like, them niggas are going to throw your ass out of the college if you doing all that yellow shit.
Take that scholarship away real quick.
Taking that shit away. If Joe was doing that shit.
They took Deshaun's scholarship, and Deshaun ain't even do nothing. They just took his scholarship just so they could give it to somebody else because somebody new came in the program. Deshaun did nothing to get his scholarship taken away. So if you Joe and you actually doing some shit that they could be like, yeah, we don't want you here no more, your ass gone. And Deshaun said that to another player too when they was on the bench during one of their games because I think he was talking. It was like it wasn't one of the starters. I forgot who it was, but he was talking back to Coach Mosley, and he was like, bro, come here. Like, would you talk to Coach K like that? Like dead ass. Like if you was on a national broadcast game, would you say some shit like that to Coach K? No. All right, so you got to treat Coach Mosley with the same respect. Even if you don't like what the fuck he's saying, just be like, okay, and shut up and sit down. Because you got to treat these same coaches with the same respect. Because these scouts, they're going to let these coaches know what you doing here. And it's going to translate when you go.
And that was something that was really so funny to me, bro, because Joe was literally the same person. It didn't matter who was watching. Like coaches would come to practice. Coaches would be on the sideline at practice. This nigga Joe still going crazy in the locker room and shit. Like Joe didn't give a fuck who was watching, my nigga. He was finna go crazy. I was like, at least he consistent, my nigga. At least he consistent. That nigga didn't care who was there. He was gonna lash out at that nigga for real. That shit was crazy, bro. But how did you feel about somebody like Malik, bro, who was always talented, who was starting in front of Joe Hampton, but his work ethic wasn't always there. He was somebody who was always inconsistent. He'll show up and look like a beast on some days, and then he'll look mad on other days. So how did you feel about Malik and his story?
Because with Malik, it's just you blessed. Like you're super blessed. So it's like you're literally what every NBA team wants. Like you 7 foot, you're damn near unstoppable in the post. When you want to be unstoppable, you're unstoppable in the post. Like that's what every NBA team wants. Like you're the cream of the crop. And I think Malik knows that. That's why his work ethic ain't always what it needs to be. That's why at certain practices when Joe will beat him out, he'll just act like he don't care, blah, blah, blah. Because he thinking, like, I know I'm going to get picked up. Like, I know somebody going to want me. Okay, that's true. You got it. It's all there. You damn near a more athletic Taco Fall, if we're being for real. Like, because you quicker than Taco, I'll give you that. But you still got to have the work ethic. If you don't got the work ethic, they can't be sure that you're going to stay consistently good. So that's the only thing with Malik. I feel like his attitude on getting better just wasn't there.
He really had a problem with complacency, bro. That was really one of his biggest problems because before the season even started, he had offers. Like, what was he, 6? I think he was like 6'9". He was like athletic 6'9", but he was like somebody who blocked shots on the defensive end. He really wasn't that offensively skilled, but he was still somebody who was really like a beast, though, when he wanted to be, like you said. So he was complacent with the O's. I think he had like 8 offers, so he was just cool with that. And Coach Mosley was like, bro, do you want more? Like, are you just cool with this? Because he was so ready throughout the whole season. Coach Mosley was ready to take this nigga out of the starting lineup. He was like, I want to start Joe, but Joe acting like an asshole. So I got to keep starting this nigga, even though I don't want to. And he's still not playing up to his standards, bro. It's like Malik was a nigga that can continue to get on my nerves, bro. Because you've seen the potential, and he just didn't have that fire. Even when his dad would come in the the documentary and talk to him, he still would be like all over the place and like, yeah, I hear you, Pop, but he still play the same way. It's like, come on, Malik, bro. Like, you gotta be more. Like, we see everybody sees it in you, but you.
And Joe would get in foul trouble a lot too. So I think that's another thing Coach Mosley why Coach Mosley didn't really start Joe over Malik, because it's like, yeah, dude, attitude fucked up. But I ain't gonna lie, I could deal with a fucked up attitude and still start you. But you got a fucked up attitude and you get in foul trouble like almost every game, I can't start you. I have to save you for a crucial moment. So he kind of had no choice but to start Malik. But Coach Ken pulled him to the side and told him, like, bro, like, you are going to get pulled eventually. Like, we will take that risk with Joe in these fouls eventually and pull you because you're just not performing like how we need to. And he told him, he was like, I told Coach in the middle of a game one time, bro, just take him out. Like, just take him out the game because it's not looking good. So I'm like, yeah, you got to be real with these players. You got to let them know, because a lot of these players, they've always been told they're good. They've always been told, yeah, you're doing it right. Like, yeah, you going to the next level, blah, blah, blah. But Coach Mosley, Coach Ken, and Coach Rob, they'll dead ass tell you you're not good enough, like, or he's better than you, like, plain and simple. And a lot of these players weren't used to hearing shit like that. So I love the fact that they did that.
And one thing I did like about Malik towards the end of the series was that he tried to learn from Joe Hampton. He actually, by the end, even though it might have been a little too late, he actually tried to learn from Joe, because he's seeing that Joe is a pro. Joe is a bucket, bro. And he can shoot the three. He had the post game and all that shit. So he actually tried to learn from Joe eventually. Like, he's actually started to get it. Like, it finally started to click towards the end. Like, that's who I want to be like. That's who I should be trying to model my game after. So I'm glad that finally clicked in his head. Like I said, it might have been too late, but where did he end up going to school? Central Michigan, I think.
Malik, yeah, I think it was Central Michigan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so he still ended up going D1. Yeah. He still ended up going D1, so a good D1 at that. So congratulations to him. But it's still, he always was up and down, bro. You really couldn't.
He could be a beast. Like, I promise, Malik can really be a beast if he really, like, get on his shit for real. We think Bowl would be crazy. I think Malik could be just as crazy, you know, if he, like, actually put the work in.
But I want to go back to KJ Island real quick, because this is like I said before, I don't think he was supposed to be there in the first place. They went into his backstory like he really wasn't supposed to be there. I think he was the number one player in California coming out of college. He was like player of the year of LA. Like, he was definitely not supposed to be there. He had all the offers he would have wanted coming out of high school, but his grades. And I feel like he was the only person that had like grades issues. Everybody else was like more so above the average. Like, they was like getting by and shit like that, even though people still had their struggles. But Malik was somebody who was really like, you could see him like striving though. He wanted to be better at the grades, working with Coach Rob and shit like that. But how did you feel about Malik's story and how he got to where he's at? Because I'm pretty sure he came back for a second year with East LA.
I don't know. It's like, cause I do agree. He has a great attitude with going about it. It's just, you still got to get him at the end of the day, though. Like, you still got to get the grades. Even if you super determined, it has to happen eventually. So that's my only concern with KJ. The talent's there. The attitude is right. His work ethic is there for student and athlete purposes. It's just, can you execute? We know you can execute with basketball. Can you execute in the classroom now? That's the only thing. I know school is different for everybody and it's harder for some people than others, but that's KJ only hump, academics.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he already committed to USC, so he might be already there, because East LA didn't have a season this past year. Like, so they just canceled this whole season. So I'm pretty sure he's at USC at this moment. And that shows you the type of talent he had. Like, he had so many O's, so many high major D1 O's. It's like, this dude damn near could have went wherever he wanted at the end of the day, bro. And how did you feel about Deshaun and the battles and the tribulations that he was going through? Like you said, losing both of his parents at such a young age, and his mom having cancer. His dad, did he say his dad died earlier, or was he just not there?
I can't fully remember what happened to his dad. His dad wasn't around way longer than his mom, though. Like,
yeah. So that shit was so crazy to me. Losing his mom at such a young age. How did he get to the point that he was even able to get to a Division I with really no guidance? Was so crazy to me. He had nobody, but he still ended up affording to go to a JUCO, affording to still get to UTEP, even though his mother was, you know what I'm saying, on her deathbed at that point. It was like, that nigga perseverance was crazy. And I already knew he was going to do good things when he went to the D1 level. You always seen it in him, even though he had his struggles throughout the season. He wasn't hitting his shot most of the season, but you still see he had that perseverance and that drive, bro. So how do you feel about his battle of still trying to get past his mother's death and trying to move past that into his next phase of his life?
I love the fact that he's just using it as a motivational tool, because shit like that can just make you not want to play.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yep.
It can really hit you. Like from St. Pete, Rodney, when Rodney mom passed a few years ago, like that kind of took a hit on him. And I heard certain people say like that made him question if he even want to play anymore. Like it questioned his love of the game and stuff, because it was like, damn, like that was my rock. Like that was somebody that I told everything to, like gave me that fire for the game, and like I lost that fire. But shout out to Rodney, like he back on the NFL roster and all that, and he found the fire in himself again outside of her. And I feel like with Deshaun, it's similar. It's like, what's gonna be your fire if you can't get it from another person? Or if that person that you was getting it from just don't want to give it to you anymore or whatever. You got to have that fire in yourself. And I'm just glad he was able to find that fire in himself.
Yeah. One of him, like I said before, probably the two most popular people were Deshaun and Joe, bro. I love both of them, love their stories and how they both still ended up getting to the next level. I feel like in past last chance use, we've had players that fell through the cracks. They were supposed to get there. You seen the talent, but it's like, man, they still fell up short. They didn't get to their ultimate goal. They might have got somewhere, but they didn't get to their ultimate goal. I feel like all of these players ended up getting to their ultimate goals, and they're really satisfied with themselves. Like all of these players, I feel like ended up being satisfied, even though during the season they feel like they weren't getting the time and shit like that. I feel like they all still ended up at the school they wanted to eventually go to. So definitely congratulations to all of them. But one thing about this last chance you season that really hit home was the last episode. And it really made you like really remember how impactful the pandemic was to everything, especially in the sports world, bro. Everybody was canceled. Everything was canceled. The NBA, college, like high school, all of that shit was done. And it just showed you the effect of it in real time. Like these niggas, like the pandemic was just starting to bubble up, and LA was one of the first spots that it was really hitting. So like that was one of the first spots, and to have their season canceled when they were like in the Final Four to get to the championship was wild. So how did you feel about that last episode and the pandemic effect?
The emotions were wild for me. Like it hit really hard, just like you said. Just to see the emotions on their face, like, because as soon as I start seeing them talking about COVID, like I damn near forgot about COVID for like the first few episodes, because I wasn't remembering that this was like the past season. It wasn't this season, you know. So I'm looking like, oh damn, like COVID is gonna happen. Like I wonder how this gonna go or whatever. And then I just see the looks on their faces. They were the last game left in California. They were going to be the only game, I think, broadcasted on TV anywhere. And and as soon as they got on the bus, they got that phone call and was like, game's canceled. And I'm like, bro, what? And for some of them, they were sophomores. Like that was going to be possibly their last time playing unless they went to the championship, you know? So it was like, damn, that's how you end your season? Same thing with Vince Carter. It's like Vince Carter was on his farewell tour and the shit just got cut out of nowhere. So it just hit the sports world hard for everybody. You know, Joe was real emotional. The rest of them was super emotional. It was just like, damn, like this wasn't supposed to end like this. We was going to win it all. That was their mindset. And I thought the same shit. I was like, wasn't nobody finna stop these boys.
Yeah. And if you guys watch Devontae Friga on YouTube, he was somebody who really showed like the impact of how the pandemic really affected his season as well. He played at Mount Union. That was like D3. And I think they were like in the Elite 8 of like their tournament, of the D3 tournament. So they were moving on throughout the tournament, and the pandemic hits and he gets the phone call like everything is done. And you could just see him crying, like the emotion, like he trying to call his people. To just like, there's nothing that his people can do. There's really no way they can console you because this is it. he was a senior. This was his last ride. He really thought they were on the way to get to a championship, and really this was it for you. Like, you can't come back for another season. It's like, there's no redemption from that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that shit is crazy, bro. Like, and it's a different type of hurt that I couldn't even explain. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't play sports. Like, that wasn't all last year. But that shit, I can tell, like, man, I can feel it though, bro.
That's why with the NBA, with that bubble shit that they did, anybody that tries to say that championship don't count, y'all out y'all damn mind. Like, because it could have been worse. We could have just not had a season for the rest of all 2020. We could have not had a season at all. So the fact that the NBA was able to, in a matter of a few months, like, come up with that plan and execute that plan perfectly, like, it was just, I don't know. I can't take away that championship because there was a lot of teams that just didn't get to do shit. There was no baseball. Football went through the shit that they was going through with catching cases early and all that type of shit throughout the season and stuff. The NBA was the only like organization for sports that actually got it right. So I hold that championship in high regard to that Lakers team because couldn't have happened at all. Could have had no season.
Yeah. And something else that I really loved about this season is they showed the good times of being in JUCO and the bonds that players have or can have with each other. I feel like in past seasons that really wasn't shown. They really just showed the struggle of it and how niggas was frustrated trying to get to the next level. But this one actually had a couple of episodes where they showed like the good times. The one where they went camping and shit as a team. Like, that's something that was really big, especially during before the pandemic. But just to get that like that bonding experience. A lot of teams really in JUCO really don't have that time. Really, when you come into JUCO, it's just business. We're trying to get the D1. We're trying to get the D1. They really don't step back and see like, damn, like we here, like taking shit for granted at that point, man. And I love that they showed like we here, like be grateful for life type shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's where Coach Mosley's faith really had kicked in at that moment. Like, be grateful for what you have right now. I know you guys are all striving to get to the next level, but be grateful for the moment that you have and be grateful that you with your brothers going through the struggle to get to the championship or get to the next level. So I definitely love that. I love that bonding experience. I love that whole scene when they was clowning Coach Mosley and shit. They was eating, having a good time. Like, that was probably one of my favorite scenes of the whole series, bro. So that was a long thing I really loved about the show.
I feel the exact same because Coach Mosley said it. He was like, guys been butting heads the past few weeks. Like, we ain't really had no break this season or anything. He's like, this weekend, no basketball. We just finna go out in the middle of the woods and just be with each other. That's it. And I love the fact that they did that because a lot of times you do need a break. Like, there is a such thing as working too much. Sometimes you just got to take that step back and just realize where you are, realize what you're doing, like realize how far you've come. And they only had one loss on that entire season, you know, and I don't think they were appreciating that. Coach Mosley included. I don't think they were appreciating the fact that we damn near perfect right now, you know. So I love the fact that he did that because you need those team bonding moments. You can't always count on the players to hang out with each other outside of practice on their own, because some of them might not be sociable enough to want to try and do that on their own. So Coach was like, I'm gonna do it for us. I'm gonna put us all in an area where we don't know anything around us and we ain't got no choice but to bond. And I feel like that was the perfect thing to do for that team.
And I also love how they show like the distance that players have to go to even get to school. Like, a lot of these players don't stay on campus. Like, I think in the first couple of seasons of Last Chance U at East Mississippi, I think that's what it was, East Mississippi Community. Like, all those players were on campus. But like the last season of football and this season of basketball, it's been these players have to travel from long distances, have to travel from like an hour and a half just to get to school. So it's like that's another hurdle that these players have to get through in LA traffic, no less, to get to this shit. So they even shows you even more of how much they push through just to get to that next level, bro. So that shit is definitely crazy. These players are having like 3 players in a 1-bedroom apartment type shit. Like, they're just trying to make it work, going through the struggle together or going from long distances, bro, just to make this shit work at a junior college, bro. And it's just like, man, that shit is really a struggle, bro. That shit is definitely a struggle, bro. And how does this season compare to you from the past seasons of Last Chance U?
I honestly feel like you can make an argument this is the best season that Last Chance U was had. The only one I would probably put above it was that first season of football, because the first season of it was just nobody seen no shit like this before.
Exactly.
It really opened the JUCO world up to a lot of people who either don't pay attention to sports that much or who know sports but don't pay attention to the teams that don't get liked. So I feel like the first season definitely set the tone for what we got with Last Chance U basketball, but I can definitely make the argument that this is right up there with that season.
I totally agree. That the basketball is. I would put it second. I would put it second behind the first season of football. Like you said, we never seen no shit like that, and that shit is still so memorable in my mind. Like I still remember the people from that season, bro. Like so vividly. So that's some shit I really love. That the first season of football, the first season of basketball, like you said, is up there, bro. And who probably would be your favorite character ever? Like your top 3 favorite, not characters, but favorite people of all seasons of Last Chance U?
I don't even know right now. Like, I honestly would have to go back through, because like I said, it was like with those seasons, it was just like a one watch type thing. I ain't really like go back and rewatch none of them. So I don't even want to. I don't know at the moment. I just know for a fact that Joe Hampton is definitely one of my top 3.
Joe Hampton is definitely one of my top 3 as well. Ali from the first season, Ali nigga Ali was definitely one of my favorites as well. And man, and I don't know if he's one of my favorite, but one of the most memorable people from the Last Chance U series was Isaiah Wright. Like that nigga had such a story in Last Chance U, bro. Like, bro, that junk is so memorable. I remember he had went to jail and then tried to get back into school, and he really couldn't. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know what's even going on with his situation at this point, but he's one of the most memorable people from the Last Chance U series because he had so much talent and he just went down the wrong path. And we already know how that junk went when he in the jail system. I think he ended up getting out, but he can't get back into school and shit like that. So that shit tough for him. But another one of my memorable characters from Last Chance U series, though. And do you have anything else about this Last Chance U?
No, I'm just interested to see what the second season is going to be like, what school they're going to pick. When are they going to come back with a second season? I'm interested for all of that. So, hey, come to Florida. Shit, we got a lot of talent in Florida, bro. I feel like it's time for one of these schools in Florida. SVC, go to SVC.
Might as well go to SVC. Coach Crum, Coach Crum at SVC.
Coach Crumley, SVC. Yeah. I'm telling y'all, hey, Last Chance U, I want that. I want compensation for that if y'all do decide to go there. I definitely pitched the idea, so I definitely want my dollars for that. St. Petersburg College in St. Petersburg, Florida, with Coach Crumley. Please do that.
Yes, sir. All right, bro. You can hit him with the social media.
You can follow us on Twitter at QE Podcast 1. You can follow us on Instagram at QANDE Podcast. You can follow and like our Facebook page. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the notification bell so you can see anytime that we drop new episodes. Our email, QANDEpodcast@gmail.com for any business inquiries, questions, concerns, or fan mail.
All right. And definitely subscribe to us on all of our podcast platforms. We are wherever you listen to podcasts, but specifically we're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Subscribe to the YouTube Q&E Podcast, and definitely subscribe to my YouTube. Just type in Quincy Hicks into the search bar and definitely subscribe. We appreciate y'all for listening, and we out. Peace.